You know what time it is. It's time for Hot Topics Talk Radio TV. Hosted by Toni Breedlove and Yvonne Baker.
There you is.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just having a week. I'll be so glad when this week is over. Over.
That's what I said a week and a half ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How you doing?
A lot better than I was a week and a half ago.
I know. You were kind of giving me a scare.
You know, so I would like to say thank you all for your prayers. And just a little bit, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Go for it.
So a couple weeks ago, I had this this mammogram, and they found a nodule in my left breast. So then I had to do a biopsy. So while I'm waiting for the results of the biopsy, I am being delusional because I'm saying I wasn't stressed, I wasn't depressed, that it was it was what it was, you know, and I had faith that things was going to work out okay. But in the meantime, in between time, I was so depressed. I didn't, that's why we didn't come on last week. I just couldn't, I couldn't do it last week because I had the biopsy on Tuesday, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was just, and I kept saying this thing about, well, if it's benign, if it's malignant, I wanted a breast reduction anyway. So.
That's what you told Mom. Mom finally told me that your conversation, and I'm like, what
I told that to you too, but I kept saying, well, I wanted a breast reduction anyway, so if they have to cut the left one off, I'm gonna ask them to take the right one too and give me some implants, some double D's this time.
No.
Turkey. They're gonna be turkey. You know, they're gonna be standing at attention. But it was really a trying time for me because I did not know what was going to happen. And Miss Joanne, she sent me this sweet message. I appreciate her for that. And with the grace of God, it was benign, and I'm good to go. And all I have to do is be tested every year.
Yeah, I'm still a little offended by what you and Mom had said.
So, you know what? My biggest concern, and it wasn't all for me. I wasn't feeling depressed and stressed out all for me. It was mostly for my kids and Toni. Because I know, as big and bad as Miss Breedlove portray herself to be, she's the first that would fill a bowl full of tears. She is so sensitive.
And as I told you and Mom, it's not that I'm sensitive. My love is deep. My brother's,
it is.
I couldn't imagine you telling me anything other than good news, And of course, when you were telling me about it, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to be, like Mom says, a big girl. But I'm sitting there, and this is the first time I'm telling you this, because I'm sitting there and the tears are just rolling.
Wait a minute. She's writing me. She sent it. We're on Messenger. We're going back and forth on Messenger. And at this one point, when she was sending me I was reading the text. All I could see was tears running down her eyes. Because
Yeah.
I know her ass was crying.
Yeah. Yeah. I love deep. I love my family. I love my friends, and I love deep. You know, that's, and I can't make an excuse for it. It's just who I am.
No
But
excuse.
but those that I don't like, you know it. But I ain't gonna cry about that.
And we love you too.
But yeah, it did worry me. But then Mom had to give me that pep talk. You know, she said she'll be okay. She'll be okay. And I just, oh, I don't want to tell you all of, what I was thinking. And there were little things that were just popping in my head, and I was like, I can't do this without Yvonne. Not just, the show. I can't. I've been through shit, that I couldn't handle. And it just sent me there. It really did. Although I had my faith, I prayed about it a lot. But I thought every day since you had told me that, I said, I can't call her, because if I call her, she's going to know I'm crying. I was like, I can't.
But I did not, I can say that my faith was so strong. And I really did believe that I was gonna be okay. I didn't cry. It just wasn't. I didn't feel like it was. I was ready for that point yet. Maybe if they had said it was malignant, I probably would have cried a little bit.
Right.
But and I'm not a crier. I'm just not. I'm not really a crier.
Me either.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, you know what? Let me take this lie back. I just told the bald face lie. I sit here and cry off of fucking commercials.
Right.
I see programs and I'm crying. But when it comes to me, I'm not a crier. If it's somebody else, I see something happening somewhere, then I'm a crier. But I don't normally cry for me.
Well, I'm just glad that the results came out that were blessed by God, and the results are going to keep you here a longer period of time, and that now you can continue to, build and do all the things that, your heart's desire. So that's what I'm happy for. So
me too. Amen.
Hallelujah. All right. So let's get into this nice show. We got a lot of welcoming to do, as we were talking about that. What's up, Hooter?
Hey, Arlene.
What's up, Mr. Jacqueline? Ceddy Hamp.
Hey, Ceddy.
Mr. Chris Wilson.
Thank you.
And hello. Let's see. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Amen. Miss Jacqueline said, so glad that you're doing good. Let's see. Amen. I'm going down the list, y'all. Going down the list. Yes, ma'am, Jacqueline. Yes. And what's going on, Mr. Ray Gage of Truth Brothers TV, followed by Mr. Devon Patrick of 2000. Of 2000. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
I need some sleep. I really do. Oh my God.
Thanks, Yvonne. Thank you so much.
And also cousin Miss Denise. All right. So let's get into tonight's topic. Tonight, we have taken a show that we've done in the past. And
3 years ago.
Yeah, I was looking at the date when you sent it. It was 2018.
I look at the dates from back in the day, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's been that long ago? But see, I wasn't on that show.
I know. You.
I was what is it? MIA.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a struggle. but we got through it.
You
Um,
recall that show?
Most of them. Oh my God. Anyway, so tonight we are talking about married or in a relationship and still lonely. And still lonely.
And I have to interject, that was my topic.
Yes, it
Y'all
was.
did it without me.
Yeah. Okay, we ain't revisiting that. We're not rehashing. Okay, we're not rehashing. So married or in a relationship but still lonely. How does that happen?
You know, it happens more than we probably realize. Even us, well, those that are in a relationship or married, you know, you can actually be in a relationship and not realize that you're lonely within it.
But how does it happen? Because when you start to build something with someone, I mean, you're in that relationship, which then can turn to a marriage, but you're in it to have companionship,
True.
something there to fill a void that you had prior to that person being there. But what is it that causes that feeling of being lonely when you're with someone and you can be in the same room?
You know, I think it's more of the other, each other, or one of the other, taking that person for granted. You
Mm.
know, well, they're there and that's where they're supposed to be, and you know their duties is to um, cook, clean, and do the wifely or woman husbandly duties.
Right.
So
But you find more women who will say they're lonely when they're in a marriage or relationship than you find men.
yeah, because you know, okay, so you have those men that you know they work during the week, and then on the weekend they're either going to play golf, they're going to play basketball, they hang out with their boys. You know, it's just it, it's more of them thinking of self than we. You know,
Mhm.
they don't. And then you have some women they don't want to go to the gym or to the basketball court and watch their guys running around playing golf, playing basketball, or go out to the golf course and even learn how to uh, play at playing golf. You know, just so that you can have that quality time with each other. So
So, right, but let me ask you this because I'll lose it if I don't. So, when you said that a lot of women don't want to go out to say to the golf course, and spend that time with their husband, even if they don't know how to play golf, and there might be an interest to learn or even just spend some time with your man. Do you think it's that they don't want to go because they've been coaxed in a way to not want to go?
because they don't have the interest in doing it. You know, it was like when I first started driving trucks, there were very few women out there
Hmm.
that were, you know, actually driving. And before I started, there were way less women, you know, unless you found, and I'm not saying this trying to be funny, but unless you found um, um, uh, a gay woman out there. She's out there making her money.
Hmm.
So then when you come into seeing actual heterosexual women out there driving trucks, uh, so it takes, it's a progression. It's women don't like to do things that men do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I would just think that if there's an opportunity for you to spend more time with your mate, And not saying that it has to be 24/7, because I'm like one of those that don't need to be under someone 24 hours and 7 days a week. You know, I like doing me, right? But
Yeah.
if the opportunity was presenting itself for me to hang out with my boo and go to the golf course, you know, and learn a little bit, allow him to teach me some of it, then I would be willing to go, because to me, that is saying that he's inviting me to be a part of this other world that he's in. And he's allowing me the opportunity to spend more time with him because he wants to spend time if he's asking me to go. It's, you know what I'm saying? There's something there that he's saying that says, I want some of your time.
And that's why I said earlier, women need to go out there and play like they're playing golf. But
Mm-hmm.
men like to teach their women how to do things. It's like they're, you know, I'm not a man, so I can't say this for a fact, but you find normally you find men that it interests them to show their woman, wife, girlfriend, whatever, how to do something that they're interested in doing. It
Mm-hmm.
gives them that adrenaline rush. It's like, oh, okay, it's, you know, she's interested in what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and, or, you know, how to play this game, and it's something that they like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's that machoism thing going on, you know, the
Yeah.
testosterone.
Yeah. So Chris says the lack of communication can create a lot of problems in a relationship, including loneliness.
And
So that's right. And that's what we were just saying. You know, I think that it's just a way of communicating more, because as silly as I am, I would think, hell yeah, I'll go out there and I'll play golf. Watch me try and hit this ball upwards of 50 times and tear up the grass.
yeah,
That'll give us something to laugh at. Okay. Because I'm not
exactly.
coordinated in that way. I'm just not. So there's a story to tell the grandkids, right? She done tore up a
Exactly.
whole golf course. But I think that, like Chris says, it's the communication that starts to break down the relationship or marriage. I think that when you don't communicate, then somebody is going to find boredom in this relationship. And when boredom strikes, then that's when your bigger problems start to begin.
Exactly.
You know, they
And
start up.
see now, you know, communication, yes, sometimes that works, sometimes that don't. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm one person that I talk. You know, it's, even though I'm shy, I still talk. So so my relationship was, I would constantly ask, can we spend time together?
Mm-hmm.
And this is with my boy's dad. Can we spend you? You know, he's like, I'm going to play basketball. Okay, can I go too? Because I love watching me. I love
Right.
watching men out
Right.
there playing, you know, playing basketball. And but it was always, um, next time, next time, next time. So, you and next time never happened. In the beginning, yes, it did. You know, I'd go out there and I'd sit there and I'm rooting and going on for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so when things started getting scarce around the house,
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, I'm like, you know, what's the problem? You know, why don't we ever go, even just going to visit his friends? Because he
Mm-hmm.
worked on cars, and that was his biggest interest was working on cars. And I asked if I could go with them, and maybe, you know, get with his buddy's wife, because we
Right.
never met. So I was called Bougie. Oh, you too bougie for my friends. I'm like, well, I'm not too bougie for them to come to your house, so why should I
Right.
be bougie for them? So it
Right.
was always an excuse. So yes, I was one of those in a relationship, and that was lonely. And on my days off, which was the weekend at the time, it was, I started straying. to first it was shopping. I started filling my time up with shopping. I became a shopaholic. Then
Mm-hmm.
it was other things.
Mm-hmm.
When I ran
Okay.
out of
Well, Cedric says, feeling lonely in a relationship means simply it needs to be spiced up. And if you're not willing to help spice it up, then your relationship will remain stiff or stifled, probably what you mean said. But he does say in his next post, he said, but it does take two.
it
And
does.
he's right, because I think that, as menial as it sounds, right, to go out to the basketball court with your man and watch him and the guys play basketball, or going to the golf course. It could be just simply going to, say, if you wanted to just go out and wash the car,
Yeah.
and you did it together. It could be those simple things that can keep things, going. But when Cedric mentions, spicing it up a little bit, you got to make sure that it's spiced up in the bedroom as well. Because who wants to lay with a wet fish?
And see, and that's just it. There was no spicing anything up. I mean, it gets a little more, deeper than
Right.
what I'm willing to say, but it's just there's a point where you have to realize that that person, if what things that you do, things that you say, you can walk through the house butt naked, and it's like you're not even there. You're just not interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
thrill is gone.
Yeah. Well. I don't know. Because, see, I haven't well, I'm going to say this. So, in my dating escapades,
Back in the
um,
day,
yeah, long
yeah,
time
long,
ago.
long ago. Yeah.
In my dating escapades, I mean, and even in past relationships, I think it, I don't think it was ever a point where I personally felt lonely, because I was always the one that does stupid shit, that makes folks laugh, or shit. I just say stupid shit, stuff like that. And it was always that going on. To a point where, one had even told me, he said, all you do is this. Yip.
I
But
remember him.
yeah. But the thing is that you could never say that you were bored. You could never say that you were bored, because you have to be up when you're with someone. Of course, you can't be that way all the time, but when you're spending your time with someone, you want to do something that's going to be exciting for you both. The things that you both enjoy, learning new things together. That's what keeps things alive as well. Ray, why you write this long ass comment? Oh my God. So I'm going to put it up for a second and try and read it, because it's going to cover us. Told you. Ray says, okay, I'm going to call bull from the start. Really? You all jumped right to women being the ones alone in the relationship. There are tons of relationships where women isolate their mates. If she never wants to go do anything, or every weekend running with her girlfriends, if you adopt an attitude of, well, I got them, and they'll keep, you will run into trouble. You know what? So
Can
I'm
I say
glad.
this? Can
Okay,
I say this?
go ahead.
Mr. Ray, we are women. I don't know if you realize that, but we are women. And we did not specifically say it was the woman that was being the lonely one. We can't speak for y'all. That's why y'all men are on this damn show, to speak for yourselves.
But the thing is that, of course, I mean, we're human beings, so we're always going to have the same.
Yeah.
He says, here we go.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So I think that just because it's a man or a woman doesn't mean that you don't have any less feelings than the other. I don't believe that, but we were talking about an aspect from a woman's point of view.
Thank you.
But of course, men can be bored, like you said, Ray. You know, it could be that she never wants to go anywhere. She never wants to do anything. Hell yeah, you're going to get bored, and that's what makes you seek other things, like Yvonne shopping outside of the relationship. You know, shopping for what? I don't know, but I mean, both can get bored, both can be lonely, but I think it's up to each other, the man and the woman, to continue to do things that is going to heighten your relationship. I just believe that. So look at Yvonne down in the hallelujah corner. Toni is actually a fun person. Oh, Toni is actually fun, very creative and very practical at times. Yes, yes. I can be very creative. Thank you, Seti. All right, let's see. Divine, go ahead. Oh, bro. Yeah, in the hallelujah corner. Let's see. Nisi says, didn't Toni just say that she wasn't the bored one because she was saying silly shit? Yep. Yep. All the time. All the time.
And see, that's the perfect point. Men don't listen.
Yep. Say.
What the hell is that?
What is that, Devon? Is that an ice cream cone? A birdhouse. Which one? I don't know. And if it's a birdhouse, what you trying to say? Okay, here we go, ladies. No, Ray said he was going to come on so I said, go ahead. Oh, come on, Ray. Oh, yeah, boy.
Come on, Ray.
Well, let me send you the link. I'm going to send you the link. So that means when... Wait a minute.
Popcorn.
That's not popcorn. Popcorn don't look like that. It looks like a birdhouse, I think. Let me send you guys the link. Ray, I want you to come on. But you know with Ray, we won't get a word in edgewise. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah, I know it's going to be some yelling.
There's the link, Ray. Come on. Let's see what you got to say. I hope we don't tear you up. Uh-oh, Yvonne calling you out. Ooh, I'd be scared.
Yeah, you should be scared.
I'd be scared.
With a new attitude tonight. I got a new attitude.
Uh-oh, and she's singing? I'm going to sit back in the corner and not say too much.
Never.
So we're ready for you, Ray. We ready.
You got to brush your hair, Ray?
Wait a minute. What did he say? Wow. Divine said he's sitting up now. Oh, so when Ray comes on, now you sit up and pay attention? That's messed up.
See, that's what I said. Men don't.
Seriously? Come on, Ray. Let me get you primed for your show tomorrow night.
He got to brush his hair.
Oh my God. Like, what's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. He said, wait a minute, I got to brush my hair.
That's the only thing I remember about him.
Well, Ray is bald, so he might have to wax it.
Spit shine.
But you know, being lonely when you're in a relationship, and when there's Mr. Ledette. Hey, Tracy Ledette. He says, what if your woman or man has health issues and there's no more sex as far as you know, but you stay faithful to her, but you're still okay. I'm gonna
But you
just
know,
take that as him saying that when you have health issues, then that's, you know, something else that you're dealing with.
yeah, that,
What's
you
going
know what,
on?
that is something different altogether. I mean, that is something that you can't help. There's
Yeah,
no, you
because
know,
it's out of your
nobody is
control.
that. So, you know, the thing with that is, you know, you guys have to do the best you can, you know,
Mhm.
and deal with with situations.
Yeah, yeah. Because I would think, you know, how could you be so um, so blatantly just ugly about somebody not providing that interest in a relationship if they're sick? That to me is just heartless.
It
Then
is.
that means you need to get your shit and you need to go and make sure that your mate is provided for and helped. Because I wouldn't have that kind of patience of knowing that somebody would be, you know, that cruel to say that the person that is sick is causing the issues in the relationship. I'm tempted to click. Oh yeah, come on, Divine. Both you and Ray.
You know
We
what?
ready?
Both you and Ray, y'all be saying what y'all gonna tempted to do, but you don't do it.
Don't threaten us with a good time.
But you know what?
Come
Now,
on.
the flip side of that is if you're in a relationship or dating someone and you're really not into that person, it doesn't matter what they do or what you do.
Yeah, but I would think you would just leave. I mean, why are you staying in something you really don't give a shit about? You know?
Well, you know, there's some people they just like to have that. Some people that they just like to have that that person to say that they're in a relationship with.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
You'd be
It
surprised how
really
many
is.
people are in a relationship and don't want to really be there, but they have had problems in getting into a relationship. So once they get in there, they want to stay in there because they don't want to be by themselves. But it's not
That's
working,
crazy.
but they still stay there.
So, what do you think people are so afraid of being single if it doesn't work out?
Being lonely.
But you've got friends, you got family, you've got coworkers. I mean, you can
You know
fill
what?
up your time.
Friends and family are okay. They are wonderful. They are there when you need them. But there's a whole different it's a whole different thing when you're in a relationship with somebody that you can cuddle up with, you can have, you know, sex with, that you can, you know, that one special person in your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're right,
So,
Devon, for better or for worse.
so he's asking the question. So, if the person is a double amputee, are you going to stay?
See, y'all going into a whole different realm of conversation.
But
This
with
ain't got
being a
nothing to
double
do.
amputee, now the things that you normally would have done or probably have done in the past is no longer in existence. So now the person is not able to do some of the things that might have been keeping your relationship or marriage alive.
But you know
Would
what? You know what? If there's okay, so if you, for better or for worse, if you have a person with a double amputee or whatever their health is, then that's not going to stop that person from being affectionate and interested in their mate. Why would that stop
because
them?
they love
It's,
them.
huh?
Because they love them.
Exactly.
They're
So
building a life.
why would that have anything to do with how that person feels? Just because they're in a wheelchair don't mean that they don't have feelings. Just because they're
Mm,
sick doesn't mean they don't have feelings.
Mm-hmm. 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 Ray, you need to Ray and Yvonne, you both need to come on here. But I'm glad that Yvonne had asked that question because I'm going to see if he's able to get his wife Alexis to join him on camera because I want to ask that question. Because he asked the question in the room, but I want to hear it from an actual couple. Do things change? Should you suffer, God forbid, an illness or have an accident that is going to render you now less a limb or two? I want to hear from a couple, So come on, Devon.
Sometimes you may be in that position where it happens during the marriage and you are staying there because you feel too guilty to leave.
But you know what? And it brings to mind, and I'm not going to mention any names, but very close friends. Well, I met them when I met Stephanie. And they were, part of the church. I ended up joining the church and, made a bunch of friends, there. And these folks were phenomenal people, a married couple. And they had been married for, oh my God, so many years. I can't put a number on it, but I can just say back then it was probably, when I met them, was probably about 27, 28 years ago. And they were married then or had just gotten married. And he had taken on an illness, a really serious illness, and it had gotten progressively worse, suffering strokes, and all of these things. And just recently he had passed. But this woman had stuck with him throughout all of these years. And I'm not talking about this. This is an older couple. This is a young couple that have gone through this. Our age is where they are. And I think she's probably younger than I am. But she stuck it out. And he had become bound to a wheelchair and all of these things. But she loved her husband. So it's hard for me to imagine. Ray Gage. Where'd he go?
Oh, hold on a second, people.
But she had gone through these illnesses with him and endured this all through their marriage, and just till recently. He passed this early this week. But my hat was always off to her, because even though she was giving up a lot of things to help, take care of him and make sure that he was, taken care of by way of his health and everything, she stood in there. She stood in there and never wavered. Never. And we're talking about a young woman.
That's what you call real love. My deacon and his wife, I mean, they're much older, but they have dealt with, both of them have dealt with cancer. He's had breast cancer. She's had cancer. He went into remission. It came back, I don't know how many times. And they are inseparable. They have been married forever. And it's like,
yeah.
So you don't just, if you love somebody, you just don't discard them like a snot rag.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question. Ray, you're my husband. You're my husband. Something happens to me that now I'm not the bright and cheery and upward person that I normally am, but I can still talk shit. Are you staying?
Do you drool a lot?
Yeah, I didn't.
Is there a lot of drool? Is it curled up hands? How bad is it? How bad are we talking?
It's bad.
Okay.
You gonna stay?
Yeah, of course.
See? But
of course.
Took you too long to answer.
I don't. But now you have withdrawn and isolated me in a relationship, though. But we gonna take care of you. We gonna take care of you,
That
though.
doesn't mean that right. So basically,
Me and the
what you're
nurse.
saying is put her in that back
Me and the
room.
nurse.
She'll be all right. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying me and the nurse. We gonna take good care of you.
Him and the nurse.
They gonna do all of that.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be like that man that his wife had Alzheimer's, so he's gonna move a caretaker in there, and they're gonna have a relationship while you off in that back room somewhere.
It might sound messed up, but for real, if you can't do anything physically with your mate, okay, if we reverse the roles and it's me and Toni is taking care of me, there's no way I can meet Toni's physical needs. I kind of expect something to happen. But if she's like, hey, I'm gonna take care of you, I ain't never gonna bring him in the house. What can I do? I'm drooled up. What am I gonna be able to do?
I could never do that.
So you're gonna wither up and dry away because I can't do anything.
Death do us part.
Okay.
But again, it will be death do us part. But still, you still have needs that met. I used to work with a guy whose wife was terminally ill. I used to work at this factory. Now, this guy, I mean, everybody in the plant knew that his wife was really, really messed up. And he stayed with her till she died. But there was other women at that plant who was baking for him and taking care of him and who knows what other things. But those needs were still getting met. But he still was faithful to her. He still took care of her. He still made sure that she had everything that she could to have the best life possible in her condition. But let's just face it. I mean, them women at the plant was like, there was no way I'm going to let this fine specimen of man get away.
What are you shaking your head for, Yvonne?
Wait, first off, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alexis is right next to me. She's lying. We had the whole conversation. So you asked me to ask her. She said she would. I'm telling her she's lying. Ray knows her, and Ray knows that she's lying.
What would she do?
She'd stay. That she'd stay with me if I didn't have no arms, no legs, she'd stay with me. That's why I proposed the question in the group.
Let me tell you what she would do. She would go out into the backyard and she would buy a tent. And she would put Yvonne in that tent where Yvonne would stay summer, fall, and winter.
Bro,
all the time in the backyard.
Bro.
She would go back there, barbecue every once in a while, tell him what a rotten dude he was and how God brought this on him.
Let me tell you what Let me tell you what she just said. She literally just said that I told her, right before I got on, I was like, would you take me outside? She told me she'd have specific days that she would take me outside because that would be too much wear and tear on her body. Now I said, right. Now here's the crazy part.
Your big ass around.
No, but here's the crazy part. I said, Alexis, we have a 3-year-old boy. If I'm a W amputee, now she pushes him in the little wagon outside when they go for the walk. Now I said, if I'm a double amputee, me and him damn near the same size.
Y'all don't weigh the same though.
All right, man. Whatever.
See?
She's lying.
Gotta lug your big behind into this wagon. She would pick the bumpiest roads. He'd be falling all out of the wagon.
She wouldn't strap me down, bro.
You know what? I'm not gonna let you put that on my girl.
And then would tell him, go ahead and do your show. Go ahead here. Let me set up the microphone for you. Do your show now.
And then,
I'm not gonna let you put that on my girl.
Out here looking like a giant Pez, and she gonna tell me that she gonna get. Man, please. And that's why I say, look, don't get me wrong. When we took our vows, we did say for better or for worse. We did. But I'm sorry, worse goes to a certain point And then at that point, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm saying this while she's right next to me, and she knows it's the truth because it rolls her way too.
And I would hire a nurse that's gonna take care of you, feed you, change you, take care of you.
Absolutely.
But I do get to pick the nurse.
That is, you know what? No.
Wait a minute.
That's
Wait a minute.
fair.
This was not the. This was
That's
not
only fair.
Yeah,
I do that. And it would be fair. I'd tell the nurse, girl, what are you doing? Straighten out her wig, get her comfortable, change her to her favorite channel, get her straight, and then come on in here.
I cannot with you. I cannot with you.
I was minding my business. I wanted to sit back and observe.
Right.
Ray started it.
You started it because y'all jumped right out the gate. But when us women are left all alone and men are just playing basketball, leaving us alone.
To be fair,
Ray, if you had been listening, you would have heard me say, I am not a man. I cannot speak from a man's point of view. I can only speak from mine.
After I posted what I posted, I was shaving and you was talking about all the poor dudes, and it was the gay truck drivers that was out there having a good life.
All y'all do is talk, but y'all don't listen.
No. Look, I was gonna say, to be fair, they are, bro. When we do our show, we do speak from a man's point of view.
To
be fair,
and then we give it to the dudes too.
We do, but to be fair, they can only speak from their point of view. So that's what I'm saying. I have to be fair.
So from a woman's point of view, what do you guys tell women when you can see them isolating a man and kind of not showing interest in what they do, or always going out and leaving them at home or working or whatnot?
That's where communication comes in.
There's a lot.
I'm saying, what do y'all tell women when you see them doing that?
I don't tell them. What I would do is I would tell them, or even ask the question, how does your man feel about you being out all the time? Because if she's out with me all the time, she's with a man and married and all that, I would have a question, because the last thing I want to do is be that bridge or that gap in between the two of them.
Agreed.
So I would ask that question. How does he feel about you being out anytime?
And see, I don't go out with women that are in a relationship, usually. Unless
so you run with a pack of single women.
Huh?
You run with a pack of single women.
Normally, yeah. Because I don't want to be accused of being the cause of being out in the club all the time. I don't go clubbing anyway that much. But I'm not going to be out there with a married woman every Friday and Saturday night, and her husband come looking at me like telling me I'm the cause of her being out there. No, I'm not going to put myself in that position.
Why would he say that? Why would he say that to you? She's making a choice to go out. My problem is with her, not you.
You know what? That's just like a man. Just like a person. I'm not going to genderize anything. But it's just like a person. When they catch their mate having an affair, who's the first person they go to? The person that's outside of the house. They don't confront
the person she's right. Mate.
Because it takes two. It takes two. Yeah. But they do not go on and confront their mate. They go and kill or beat up the person that was caught messing with their spouse. So
wait a minute. How people getting killed now?
Oh, I'm using that as.
I was gonna say, who they with?
Oh, now. Well, no, you know what? My cousin.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So Kim, this is
boyfriend.
This is for Alexis. Kim says, you can use a wheelchair by your mouth. Talking to you, Devon, while she pushes the kids in the wagon.
And then she be yelling at him, why don't you blow faster? Why don't you keep up?
She'd be telling me right now, you better slow your blonde down when you crossing that street. You know them cars go fast.
Yeah, Ray. Why you get to pick the nurse?
Why you get to pick the nurse,
she can't talk. Remember, she's sloughed up. She drooling and she crooked on. She can't pick the nurse. I can only pick the nurse.
That was what.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask this question now. So, as my husband, right? You get to pick the nurse. Is she gonna be an ugly nurse?
She might be ugly.
Okay, well, I have a question.
I can't say the answer out loud. I gotta make gestures.
She might be ugly to you.
If the shoe was on the other foot, and you were incapacitated, can Toni pick her? Toni pick her nurse?
Let me answer that really quick.
Toni gonna pick Denzel the nurse, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. Every time he come in, I'm gonna be calm down, man. Calm down.
No, really quickly.
All right,
really
Toni,
quick.
Let's go get in this vet and take a ride.
Hold on, real quick. I asked Alexis the exact same question. I said, if I was the W amputee, like we said, and I'm like, all right, it's time to get in on some get in. Are you gonna let me roll on top of you and get it cracking? She tells me, what can you do? Because I'd have to do everything.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no,
get that harness and move it up and down.
Right. But then now you can't tell me that she ain't gonna go get her a Dwayne Johnson to come through here and handle business because I can't do it.
Exactly.
But
don't worry about it. Every now and again, I'm gonna take Toni and straighten out her legs and take care of stuff.
I don't know about that.
Well, you gotta see. They got the ropes. You just gotta tie her and hold the ropes down to straighten out the atrophy in her leg. But
you know what? They have these. They're like handlebars. I don't know what you call them, but they have
the sex swings. Right. I know where you at.
Right.
Yeah, you have.
And I tell Toni, hold the bar. Hold the bar. Don't let go, baby. Hold on.
She have to use her mouth because she ain't got no arms. You got to clamp down with your teeth. There you go.
Right.
Y'all so nasty.
No, we just answering your questions. See, because you thought you was catching somebody up.
Oh my God.
Now, Yvonne, the question is, what would you do? So you telling me you ain't gonna do nothing at all with anybody because your man is Handyman. You gonna just love Handyman for life, so you can't do nothing.
Did you hear me say that?
I'm asking you.
So if I was in a relationship and my man was incapacitated, double amputees and all
Handyman.
that.
He got that. He got the finger. He got the fingertips.
Right. Every time you argue with him, he say, "You can't hurt me anymore."
I would hang in there with him, but there's always ways of satisfying each other.
Okay.
So he
all right.
So he can take your top drawer buddy and hold it in his mouth, huh?
The what?
He can take your top drawer buddy and hold it in his mouth, huh?
The top drawer buddy?
Yeah,
hey, it's the word.
That thing.
Hey, they do come with batteries, so.
Right. I cracked my teeth last time.
You don't have to crack it. See, they come with batteries. And now you have, and now they have remote control, so you don't have to worry about all that shit.
Right. There it is. So he's basically useless. So then what you gonna do for him?
Hey, you know what they have for me? Remote control.
Right. If he a double amputee, he got nothing. Are you gonna pull out the flap and inflate him every once in a while?
If that's what it takes, yeah.
Y'all are lying. It's no way. Look,
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you.
let me sit up. Y'all really just made me sit all the way up, man. Okay,
Yvonne,
let me
you would be
explain
so
something.
quick to go to the Army surplus store to buy a tent for the backyard. You be calling up Devon's wife saying, "Where'd you get that tent at?"
And you know what?
Cause Craig tripping again.
Have you ever did it in the tent?
Yeah.
I'm a Marine. You'd be amazed what I've done in a tent.
Yeah.
Really? Do tell. Do tell.
Y'all are lying, boy. It's easy to have the morals. Let me say this. It's easy to take the moral high ground in a hypothetical situation. Because at the end of the day, we can sit here and be holier than thou all day now. We can say,
and y'all
oh, no, I never.
Like
my
crazy.
man in this. Knowing good and well, that dude at the job, if you got that double amputee back at the house, that dude at the job who you've been itching to just, I ain't going to say itching, that's wrong. But that dude at the job who always give you that extra wink or that, hey, how you doing? You look good today.
The one that all you girls in the shop call Sweet 16.
Right. The dude, the cat y'all like to see in the gray sweatpants. Now, you mean to tell me your man literally can't defend himself? You literally can. He looks like a baby in a swaddle blanket. And you mean to tell me that you not going to look at Sweet 16 and say, boy, I'll grab that clone and pull it.
Because he's probably too young. But I'm going to say this.
We didn't say that was his age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sweet 16 is
Tony knows.
I never heard of that terminology. So,
that's some true brother stuff.
I'm gonna say this. If I am in love with this person and it happened during our marriage, and I'm gonna try. I don't care. Y'all can roll your eyes all you want. I'm gonna try my damnedest to do what I can to be there for him. Now, if it don't work later, then that's when I'm gonna have to revisit the situation.
Okay, so yeah, I know, Teresa. I was like, oh shit, gray sweatband. Okay.
See, Teresa's probably
look
telling
at Teresa.
the truth.
That would probably be the nurse.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
as long as he shows up for his interview in the gray sweatbands, and that's how he come to work. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
And I'd be like, you teasing.
I'll make sure that I get you a tent to put side by side with Yvonne.
Right.
How's that?
You know what's crazy?
You tell him put some extra Hennessy in his juice box.
You ever
you don't want to hear this.
You ever seen them little toys that vibrate once they in the chairs? She'd end up getting through on top of the table and he just be in a high chair going nuts and do it right in front of him. He be in that high chair vibrating like a dildy on loose, and y'all are just and looking him square in the eye. Y'all wrong, man. Like,
me too, Chris.
Well, this is still on topic because this is about being alone in a relationship and isolated. And if you're a double amputee, you are as isolated as it gets.
And y'all just took it to a whole different show.
Right, but thanks to Tracy Ledet, who brought it. We invited you.
And I caught that in my doing my hair joke too, Yvonne. I caught that. All right.
That's because I don't know his name. What was that guy's name that we invited him on the show and he said he couldn't come on because he had to brush his hair?
Yeah, he had to brush his hair. And when he came on, it just looked like nappy hair.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She says, I'm not trying. I'm going to be there for mine. That's right.
You still can be there, but that don't mean you ain't going to get broke off somewhere else. You still can be there. You still can be there. Toni, I believe that you would take care of me. I'd have the best pillows. I'd have the best wheelchair. I'd have the best bed monitor, TV, all that. That ain't got nothing to
Thank
do
you,
with gray
Tracy.
sweats,
Yes,
though.
it has. Tracy
But I
says,
think
I
I would
learned that
feel guilty.
intimacy is more than just having sex. Thank you.
That is
Look,
true.
I agree with that. I agree that intimacy is more than having sex. But to stay in a relationship, you can have intimacy and not continue to stay into a relationship. The thing about the subject, which was in a relationship and lonely, you gotta look at it. You can have the intimacy, but wouldn't you still feel lonely because, like you were saying, you can't go out? Well, not you can't, but you're not so eager to
But
go
you
out
don't
with this
do
guy
it.
to the show. You're
Right.
You
not
don't,
so eager
no,
to
you're
do all
not.
these other things with him.
You're not going to be lonely because y'all are stuck to the house 24/7.
And that's
Together.
going to drive you to be crazy because you're not going to want to stay in the house 24/7 with a guy
Right.
who looks like he's
Right.
swaddled in a blanket.
Right.
You know what?
Even the dude or even the other person is going to care enough to say, Tony, you win an executive of the year and you got to get me all swaddled up to go to the banquet. Hey baby, don't, I'm not going. You go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. And if you got to take somebody, go ahead and take somebody. I can't go.
Can I pick up gray sweatpants?
If that's what's, again, it goes both ways. I have to make a sacrifice too because I'm now mad.
Let me ask this since the comment was up.
Before you go there, I want to go back up to Vonnie's comment because she wants us to read her first comment to all of this. Hang on, Vonnie. I've got to go all the way back. Hang on. Okay, here it is. It's going to cover you guys. Huh?
She said, "Oh, I'm reading your comment like I'm a man. Hey, man, this ain't yes tomorrow. Go ahead, Tony."
Bonnie says, hello, everyone. If my husband became a double amputee, 100%, I am all in. I fell in love with him and not going to leave him because of what has occurred. Yes, sex is a big part of a relationship, but love to me is more than all of those things.
Can I say something to that?
And I agree with you, Bonnie.
Absolutely.
Wait, let me say one thing to that.
Go ahead, Devon.
Let me say this. I agree with her that love conquers all, right? I get it. But love could also mean that I'm not gonna change you. Meaning that if she wants to stay there because sex ain't a great thing, that's great. Sex doesn't have to be the thing that keeps her there. But
right. Exactly.
You're not going to not have sex. And I don't mean to use a double negative, but you're not going to not do that. You're going to, and that's the thing. Sex does not dictate what makes that relationship whole. Because I'm gonna be honest, if I could, this is gonna sound crazy. If I became a WFT and I could not perform to my wife, I would not expect her to not have sex ever again for the rest of her life as long as I'm alive. I wouldn't expect her to do it. If she did it, I'd be shocked, but I wouldn't expect her to. Now, if she's there for me because she loves me as who I am as a person, yeah, she can still be there for me in that way. But I know that it's certain things that we did before that's out the window now. Us going out on our dates and being out at dinners and all that now, that's out the window. So yes, it is, and don't lie. Now, if she says, because she said no, it's not. Now I'm being honest, but if she wants to go out to Ruth Chris, she wants to go to Eddie V, she wants to go to these restaurants, I can't not let her go because of the situation I'm in. I'd have to say, hey, go ahead, enjoy yourself, go with your girls, or do whatever makes you happy.
Would you really mean that?
No. I would mean it. It would hurt, but I would mean it because I know the situation I'm in. I know that I can't do certain things. And therefore I have to tell her, because it's selfish of me to hold her back from those things that she want to do because of my condition. That's selfish on my part. And I love her enough to let her go and do it on her own, or do it because of that.
So that's the other half of that.
Doesn't the guilt start to tear you up? I mean,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Tony. What you say?
doesn't the guilt then start to tear you up?
It's not necessarily guilt.
Of guilt. It's a reversal of guilt.
It's not necessarily that. It's understanding. It's playing the hand you dealt at that time. It's understanding what's in your play. It's understanding what's within your control. Now, guilt would be me forcing her to do something because I can't, and it makes me feel better. That's more of a guilt to me, because I wouldn't want her to feel as if I need you to keep me feeling secure. So don't go out with your friends because that's gonna make me feel bad. Don't go out to them dinners because that's gonna make me feel bad.
But the whole thing is that she would feel bad. You might be offering this to her so that she doesn't have to have this huge life change, you know, and not enjoy her life. But in some ways, I know my girl would feel guilty.
It's a double-edged. It's a double-edged sword, because she'll be damned if she do and damned if she don't. If she don't go out and enjoy herself, she'll feel guilty. If she sits here and gotta continuously wipe my ass because she gotta sit me on the handy toilet, then yes, she feel guilty. Like, damn, I could be out with my friends having fun. But in that case, now I gotta take my part of it. Okay, now she's caught in the catch-22. Got you. But what I can do is I can help her, because I'm not caught in the catch-22. I'm the person that can allow her to live her life. If I say it, I can speak life into that. I can say, it's okay. You don't have to do this. And that's because that's that love that Yvonne was speaking on earlier. Because I love her enough. If you love something, you got to let it go. And you got to trust it. Now, if she goes, now, again, this goes back to me being logical and saying, if she goes out and have sex because I ain't had sex with her in months, would I be shocked? No, I wouldn't be shocked, because I know what comes with that. You got people who are perfectly functioning human beings that don't have sex with their spouse in months.
Right.
And if they go out and do it, it's wrong, but are you shocked? No. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to deal with the cards that you dealt, and me being who I am. Like I said, would I want that for my wife? Absolutely not. Would I feel better of her not feeling tied down to me because of my condition? Yeah, I'd feel better, and just know, like, I forgot what they call it, but it's a certain type. It's a word for a person who sees pleasure in seeing another person have pleasure, and that's what at that point, that's what it would be for me.
Yeah, let me go to some of these comments before we continue. So let me go back to Cedric. He says, it's about your morals. Maybe that's something one would do. You can only speak for one's self. All right. Kim, she says, I'm wrapping his ass up and we going to dinner, and I will hand feed his ass the whole time.
That's right, Kim. Because our restaurants are wheelchair accessible.
So Bonnie says, well, again, for me, I love him wholeheartedly, and my ass is staying for it all. Amen. All right,
Bonnie.
Tracy
I think that's great. That is good.
Mm-hmm. So Tracy says, I think that would be cheating, being in a committed relationship, even though we see eye candy all day long.
Well, it's only cheating if it's not permitted. If it's permitted, then it's not cheating. There's no sin. But there's no sins when there's permission.
But if the shoe were on the other foot, and Lex was the one that was incapacitated, and Lex says, no, I don't agree with it. I don't want you to go out. You my husband, and I ain't going for none of that shit. Now what?
If it were me, I would. Well, let's start with the psychological part of it first. I think psychologically, I would have to deal with what will come with that, because I know her security will be dialed back at least 5 notches. turn it down, man. She got now. She finna jump in. But anyway, so if we dial it back about 5 notches, now I got to deal with the fact that I have to help her feel secure. Now, to be honest, like I said, for better, for worse, or whatever we said that was about. But I think that she wouldn't want me to go out and go be with my friends. Like I couldn't be at Ray house as often as I ride out to Big Bro house because she'd just instantly assume, oh, you got them chicks with 2 arms and 2 legs over there, huh? Yeah, all right. And now we in a different scenario. So I would have to appease my wife and hope that she get there. But yeah, one is only gonna take you so far. But I would you know what to be a crazy part about it is I think she'd kick it up a notch as to trying to please. She'd kick it up a notch like, hey, you never know. She's the old girl said I'm gonna have you in the team.
So,
but
okay,
no, honestly,
here's Miss Patrick. Mrs. Patrick is responding via message. My girl says, y'all don't listen to Devon. He's going to bring his ass right with me. I'm going to feed him at the restaurant and he going to have a good time. Might get cursed out for eating too slow, but we in this together. Yeah. All right, Lex. All right, Lex.
Again, so it's easier to be holier than thou in a hypothetical situation.
What she say?
I was right.
She said when it's nothing. I didn't say that when I had one leg. A sprained ankle is different from a double amputee.
It's the same thing. You couldn't fucking walk. You was handicapped.
You're not doing this on him.
I would have to do wellness checks on Devon every other day because if anything, his mouth will get him killed.
Get his ass whooped. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll be tearing his ass up with a belt every time he say something smart. But he'll be clean and fed and fully clothed with a well-whooped ass. That's what I do.
I'd be at the door saying, "Hey, roll Devon out here. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see if he okay."
Oh my God!
Call the cops on me.
Oh Lord. I can't believe we are 15 minutes over time. Let me go through just a couple more comments and we got to start to wrap it up. Oh my God. I'm sorry for the comment. I've got allergies, y'all. So this weather is killing me. Kim says, I would try to do something if it were me. Use all that slob for something. Oh my God.
I like the imagination because the W amputee is producing a lot of slob.
Easy glide.
Like a wet wipe.
Nick says, God damn. You guys are killing me. Killing me. Oh my gosh. I've enjoyed you guys. I'm glad that you came on. I really am. I really am happy that you joined us. And it's good to hear from my girl Lex. Oh my God. I don't know.
She said she's gonna do a show. She said she's gonna come on the show one day for y'all. Y'all three.
I hope so. Yeah. You know what? She can be our special guest next week.
We don't know what we're doing next week.
Yeah, we can figure something out. Lex, send me a topic. Send me a topic you want to talk about.
I'm gonna send you one, and I'm gonna have y'all all do it.
I asked for her to send it.
Nah,
what you got, man? You got something on your mind.
Make sure you have a backup copy in case we don't like the first one.
Okay, cool.
All right. Wow, it's been fun. So what you got to do on your show?
Right.
So
wake up, Ray. Wake up, Ray.
Oh, I'm not asleep.
He say next week topic double amputee.
think I did 2 weeks in a row. Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So we are going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us here on Hot Topics Talk Radio TV with me and Yvonne Baker. And of course, our special guests tonight were the Truth Brothers, Devon Patrick and Ray Gage. And I'm glad that I'm really hoping that you enjoyed it because we had a good time. Make sure that you come back every Wednesday night. The show always starts here on Facebook at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. If you want to catch up on past shows, go right over to Facebook. You can pull up all of the videos and just choose one. They're all crazy. They're all crazy. So make sure that you follow us right here on Facebook and make sure that you share the shows with your friends. Let them know what you are hearing and what makes your Wednesday night. So since I got Truth Brothers right here, we're going to go ahead and let them tell us about their show tomorrow night. Go ahead, guys.
Join us tomorrow, and we're gonna continue our episode where we was asking you guys questions, and you guys can ask us questions. It's called "Can We Ask You a Question?" Part 2, and we can bring this topic and your double amputee topic right on over to our show tomorrow night.
And we got a bunch of questions that's lined up that we got to answer. So yeah, we got them all.
And
it was a lot of them.
Really? Oh my gosh. So that should be fun. I'll be sitting behind.
So Yvonne, bring your behind to the show tomorrow and ask a question or two since you.
Are you inviting me on Truth Brothers?
We invited you on our second show, and all of a sudden you had to do triple overtime.
Oh.
That's right.
Got about that one, didn't you?
All right. Well, thank you, Truth Brothers. Again, it's been a good show, great conversation. I enjoyed every last one of the comments, and I, as always, I thank you for spending your Wednesday nights with us. And I also want to say thank you for your continued support of what we do. We've been doing this now for 11 years, guys. 11
yes.
11 years.
Long time.
So it's been a great run, and it's all because of you. So make sure that you come on back here to Hot Topics Talk Radio next week on Wednesday. But also, you got to come to Truth Brothers TV tomorrow night. The show starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Make sure that you type in Truth Brothers, that's TRUFBROS TV, and there they will be. So with that being said, yes.
Toni, that means that I don't come in at 8 o'clock, right?
You better hurry up.
I'm on Central Time. I came in, what was it, the week before last at 8 o'clock. I want to go.
Yeah.
Where are you?
And she forgot that she was on a different time zone. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She was out there collecting phone numbers. Don't. She was out there nailing phone numbers.
Was she? Was she really?
Was I? How you know?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You were. Yeah. All right, you guys. Good night,
Duncan Hines. Don't believe her.
Anyway.
Bye, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night on Truth Brothers TV. Good night.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Yvonne.